guys, welcome back to Anime Club, the show where we watch the first few episodes of an anime series and give you our first impressions. I'm Reina Scully.
I'm William Hayes.
And this week we watched Deadman Wonderland.
Dead fan Candace.
I used to say Deadland Wonderman, and that's super wrong. This anime is weird.
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 It is. I can agree with you. If you asked me what it was, I would say it's weird.
Yeah. So we watched the first 2 episodes in Japanese with English subtitles, and it didn't explain anything. So we continued watching on, but they only had the English dub available, which was awful. But we watched up to episode 4, and it still doesn't make a lot of sense.
If you were like, hey, you know what? It's a lazy afternoon. I want to watch an anime, and I want to understand what the anime is about in the first 2 episodes. This is not the anime for you.
No,
but if you said, hey, it's a lazy afternoon, I want to watch a show that I won't know anything about in the first 2 episodes, this is the anime for you.
Yeah, if I just want to sit there and be confused, this is definitely the anime.
Yep.
The reason why we found it so confusing is because bizarre things continue to happen without any explanation, and the surrounding people don't really question much.
No.
Why?
Like,
you tell me.
No, I say I agree with you.
Oh,
I agree with you. Yeah. I think you or more than anybody else was like very confused about the fact that the girl Shiro is just kind of there, and then
it makes no sense. Even if they were to explain that she's just albino, it makes no sense. First of all, she is the only female in the prison.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take it back. First of all, Deadman Wonderland is a prison amusement park set in the future. Tokyo
not that far, only 2023.
Yeah, so Tokyo has like a huge earthquake and ruins everything. So in order to not use too many resources but still be able to accrue money for the city, they decide to create a prison that's also an amusement park where the prisoners go through. I can't, even at that point it makes no sense. There was a circus, there was also
it just went through my brain. How do they have this many prisoners? Well,
I mean, Japan's a bad place with bad people in it.
Not that many, like hundreds? There's hundreds of people in there. I mean, if it was America, there's hundreds of people in prison here. But
America's way bigger, so that makes sense, but...
Yeah.
The prison amusement park itself makes very little sense. Like I said before, it's so strange. They have circuses, they have Wipeout, basically, which is framed to be a race.
But not the fun Wipeout where you're like, oh man, I lost my chance of getting that money. The kind of Wipeout where you're like, oh man, I lost my life.
And they even, like...
Or if you fall off the track, they shoot you.
Yeah, oh yeah, that too. If you try to run away, these weird animatronic things shoot you. They have spectators, and the spectators are students, which brings us back to the first episode. How this whole thing starts is this main character just hanging out in his classroom talking about how they're going to go to this prison amusement park, Deadman Wonderland, as like a school field trip. And then all of a sudden, this red man comes about and kills the whole classroom and somehow is able to blame it entirely on the main character.
This red man in Deadman Wonderland is no good. That's all I gotta say.
Bad. He is innocent from what we can tell, but everything...
Not the red man.
Not the red man, Ganta, the main boy.
Yeah.
The little boy is innocent, but... They even have footage of him saying, like, I killed them all with my bare hands. So, very confusing. How does that even happen? Who is the red man? Something about Necro Macro. I mean, that's like the code name they use for him at the prison. Now we're at the prison, and it's just complete madness at all times, and everybody just...
I want everybody at home to know that this isn't your lack of ability to explain something, because you're explaining it very well. I know everything you're talking about. That is just how absurd... I mean that in the most positive way as possible that this program is.
Absurd is fine. Like,
absurd
anime
is cool.
is absurd.
Oh, anime is absurdity.
Yeah.
I know one about a boy who can stretch his body, but it's not really defined how far he can stretch it.
Fruit, yeah.
Yeah.
This level of absurdity is... It's difficult to understand. At first, I was saying that it's actually doing a really good job in wanting me to make it understand more, so therefore I want to watch more. But then I realized that regardless of how much more I watch, it's not explaining anything, and that bothers me so much. Not only is it not explaining anything, nobody is making sense in it. None of the characters, their actions, their conduct, their thought patterns make any sense to me.
Shiro's doing one of those things that people do on a lot of TV shows where they don't answer questions.
Right.
He's like, who are you? What are you doing here?
And she's like, we're friends!
Alright, so what are you doing here?
Yeah, and like, who are you? And like, why are you hyper athletic and ridiculously strong?
And why aren't you wearing clothes? And if you are wearing clothes, why are they like painted to your body? You need to wear shoes. There's stuff on the ground everywhere.
Yeah, and why are you that white? Like, you can't just be an albino. Like, there has to be like something. She looks like an albino rabbit, like not like an albino human.
Oh, cute.
Ganta's the main character.
Ganta.
Even he doesn't make any sense. I like him because you can relate to him only because the whole time he's like, what's happening? What's going on? But even he's kind of rolling with the punches.
You can relate with that? Oh, yeah.
But
maybe
because,
you're not me.
Yeah, but because
nothing in life matters. Continue.
And then there's Shiro, who, it's really strange. So she's the white, pale, albino, whatever creature. She's really a creature.
She's kind of a creature.
She appears out of nowhere.
I would just like to point out, years ago I went to Anime Expo and there was a cosplayer and I was like, this is the creepiest cosplay ever, and I took a picture with her and I had no idea what she was from until now.
Oh, there you go. When she first appears, Mimi is the name of one of his classmates that died. And
she was murdered by the Red Man Wonderstand.
Maybe it's her voice or something, but something about Shiro reminds him of Mimi because when he first sees Shiro, he calls her Mimi. And then he's like, oh, we know that can't be you because you're all white.
She also looks just like her, except, you know how like on your old cell phone you can press invert and it'll change the colors like to negative? She looks like her, except
Kinda.
Like that. It's really weird that the character's name is Yo, especially when we watched it in the English dub, because they're like, Yo, how did you get in here?
Yeah, I remember,
As you know, in English, Yo is a word.
Yeah, not a name.
Kinda. I don't know if it's in the dictionary, but if I'm like, Yo, you know what I mean? Yo is kind of the character that's like in movies where they're like, he asks the questions like, but what does that mean? And then, you know, you have to explain it to him, but they're not even explaining anything to him, so he's kind of just a character that's doing exactly what you're doing at home going, what's going on?
I like horror anime, but I feel like the category of horror gets mistaken for gore a lot of the time, and this wasn't even gory, it was just like action, gore-laden, bizarre suspense.
Violence. And they can in prison you can buy lavish food.
Yeah, that was really bizarre. I think it's because it's an amusement park, and they just have their own currency. I don't know. See, so many questions that we have.
Some dudes in prison are living better than me in real life.
Oh. The other really strange thing is that all of the prisoners, or all of the death row inmates, as in Ganta, they're poisoned, and they need to eat this nasty tasting candy every 3 days, or else they die immediately. And the candy costs a lot of money or currency.
I know a lot of guys like that.
Yeah. What? What was your favorite part of the series so far?
I gotta say, my favorite part is when boy Gintama.
Ganta.
Sorry.
That's cool.
He's trying to fight the guy, and he's like, ooh, blood powers go.
Oh.
Blood powers go. Kind of like in
go.
Spider-Man 1 when he was like, ooh, what do I do? And he couldn't. Which just reminds me is that as much as we like think, oh, I want to live in an anime, I want to be the Avatar, but if you were, you'd be like, I actually don't know how to do this.
This is true.
This isn't nearly as easy as I thought it was gonna be.
Right. And you'd think it's because he has to be in peril, but he was in peril the second time and he couldn't activate it.
I think what they have to do is kind of like Kill la Kill, where you got to put a little bit of your blood out into the real world, and then you can do it, which really sucks because I really don't like bleeding, so I would not want to be in this anime. It's what I call a gosh darn nightmare.
So I guess it kind of worked out to be a horror anime if it's a gosh darn nightmare.
Yeah, it's a nightmare world. If you
we
were
did
there,
it!
Yeah.
If I were to continue watching, the only reason I would continue watching is because I need to know what's going on. I need to know why Shiro is who she is, what connection she has with Ganta. It can't be...
It's because you're a masochist and you like being in pain.
Maybe that is what it is. I need to understand what's going on. Maybe you guys could tell us. You know what? In fact, if you've seen Deadman Wonderland and have seen it the whole way through, let us know what your opinions are and what it is in the comment section down below, okay?
You are so frustrated.
I am. I need to know, I need to understand, but it's so difficult for me to watch for some reason. So if you want to check out Corpse Party along with us, remember to take a video of yourself giving us your review and upload it onto YouTube with the hashtag SFNCorpse. That's a weird hashtag. And join us again next week with our friends.
Where are our friends at, Reina?
Right here.
It's essentially like in Hunger Games, what the Capitol does. They watch the Hunger Games for their amusement using other people. So the general public goes to this theme park, prison, and the prisoners just fight. For an anime, it's very slow paced in giving you the type of information that you would like, but because it is so slow paced and the storyline kind of wraps up in 12 episodes, you kind of just have to go with the mentality of, because there's only 12 episodes, just finish the storyline and then you're okay.
It's very hard to imagine one of the scariest and craziest prisons being served as an amusement park, so that was a bit of a stretch to me, but then again, it's anime, so everything is possible, I guess. But if gory stuff and supernatural stuff and all of that kind of crazy stuff is up to your alley, I would recommend it. Why not?
Blood and body parts everywhere. So if you're not ready for that, stay the hell away, because it's not gonna get better. There's a type of superpower in this world that's all about blood. You use the people who are able to use their blood as a weapon. Yeah, if you like violent shows, this is your cup of tea.
It's weird because it's like 3 different anime in one. There's like Gantha in the regular prison, Gantha in the Deadman prison, and then the third sort of part is Gantha trying to break out of prison. There's some parts of the gore that I was just like, nope, 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 nope. Like the eyeball being extracted, the acid thing, just ugh.
Most animes have like some kind of social comment on how the world works or whatever, and frankly here I couldn't really find that. I couldn't really find one. I mean, it's an incredible anime and the story is really deep. It's a great story, but the most I could get out of it, like theme-wise, is like a comment on how screwed up the justice system is.
I don't know if I want to watch the rest of this anime because it's really gory. I heard a couple of F-bombs in that anime. I'm okay with like animes that say the A word and the D word and the S word and the B word and like, but no, not the F-bomb. Don't drop F-bombs.
They're not corpses. What?
Good job, Reina.
Thank you.
You always do a good job.
No,
I really
don't.
appreciate you in my life.
Thank you.
You dumb piece of crap.